All right, everybody, welcome back. Second map, Gamers2 versus LGB. Gamers2 taking map number 1. So LGB's map choice underway. And this is our RGN European side of the Pro Series. Both teams, if they win this, I do believe solidifies a spot in our international finals for 30 Gs. So lots on the line here. Winner moving on to verse Dignitas. I am Laser Jesus. Alongside me is Chad. Not sure if you are back just yet, but it looks like LGB is coming into the B-bomb site. Wow, Michu coming up so big from the catwalk. That's 3 for him. And the assist as Innocent finishes off Pauly. It looked good for LGB for a moment as they found the entry frag onto Maniz. But then Michu, the most recent addition for Gamers2, comes up so big from the catwalk. Now just Zeeves left alive. He goes down. Mouse gets his first frag of the game, so Gamers2 scary for just a brief second. But then Michu comes alive, wins the round for the Polish side.
I'm such a noob, I missed pistol. I am sorry.
It was just,
I'm sorry.
They rushed B, they got the entry, but then Michu just decided to murder everybody.
Michu, how dare you? No, good stuff for Gamers2. Obviously not so great for LGB as they just had that devastating defeat on Gamers2 map choice, 16-4. Now moving into their map choice, not taking T-Pistol. Obviously, it's not the end of the world, but after losing a map like that, you would love to grab Pistol on the next map, your map choice, as that's your requirement to get back in, but they're not going to grab it. We'll see if they can have any success here as they do go for upgraded pistol and armor. They spend all of their money. And he's actually, or rather the CT's dealing with it pretty darn well. They actually opted to go with pretty much rifles across the board. Obviously, you can see the MP9 on Maniz quickly before he swaps it out and grabs that FAMAS. But only one SMG. It was a pretty good read on the situation as the force buy came in from the T side and it was dealt with pretty easily.
Yeah, handedly by Gamers2. I saw a couple members of LGB even without armor instead going for nades. And that is, I don't know, I like more tech 9s and more nades in that situation. You know Gamers2 is likely going to have upgraded to rifles. And unless you can isolate them with smokes and get those entry frags, you just get ruined. On the other side of the coin, I guess if LGB found an entry and then isolated with those smokes, could have had a different round. But none of that allowed by Gamers2. Now LGB, kind of a throwaway round, trying to utilize these P250s and try to make something happen at mid. And Gamers2 moving up a quick 3-0, and this time in better fashion than they did on Cash.
Yeah, Gamers2 in a good situation here. Yeah, on Cash they had that first rifle round come in, and because those anti-ecos weren't great from them, the force buys worked out pretty well for LGB. They lost that rifle round, and that's where LGB was able to secure at least a little bit in that map. But in this round, hopefully Michu stays and gives us with his presence, as we are going to see top middle control completely to the T side here, but Innocent takes down Pauly first and foremost. He does have a lot of damage dealt to him, but Spiro and Micho follow up. Yeah, they take mid control right back. They're like, hey, you're in middle? Nah, that's our mid. And now it's Rubino and Sentries left on kind of the perimeter of the map.
Yeah, and it's interesting by, you know, both teams, because on Cash, right away, neither of them went for middle control on first gun round, or at least stacked it. Obviously, the CTs are going to have somebody peek there, but this time, both teams just smash into each other at mid, and Gamers2 comes out on top, and LGB, once again, can't find any entries.
Yeah, so now on a 4-0 score line, Gamers2 looking pretty darn good here to start things off, and when does the worry set in on that LGB side? As they are, again, obviously, they dropped that first rifle round. Back on the save here. Obviously, in the next round, they'll have full loss bonus. They'll be able to get whatever they'd like. So we'll see how things go as they're trying to go for a bit of an A play. We've got sentries up inside a Palace, but they actually rotate their 7-player Rubino as well as the bomb carrier and Pauly. Was looking to go back towards mid, but actually Pauly goes towards Palace, and I think they're going to work a bit of a split A through middle. But again, without the gear that they're kind of wanting, Michu actually gets dropped. So you know what, Zviz grabbing that M4. All of a sudden, they do have a little bit to play with, but Zviz goes down immediately. Mausenho onto sentries as well. They have lost Maniz, but Rubino gets dropped via Spiro and his AWP. So only Pauly up here as, again, Innocent finds another one as well. So, man, left, right, and center. It will be the CTs grabbing all the frags in the end. They do lose 2, though.
Yeah, that entry frag kind of threw Gamers2 for a loop. We saw them shift off of their middle control. It could have easily went the way of LGB, but the timing just ended up working out for Gamers2 when they decided to re-peek middle. And I don't know if you're watching Pauly there in the end. Right when Innocent went down at B, he started creeping out of the balcony, and both Gamers2 members had their back turns running to the B bomb site. One of them had just turned around. It looked like Pauly was going to get gifted with the best scenario possible in that 1 versus 3. But onto another gun round. Gamers2 once again still trying to hold on to this mid control. This time claimed by LGB. Now that they have it and they've found the entries, what do they do with it?
And it was actually a super cool play that Maniz and Innocent were attempting to go for. Maniz hides out in that tiny little cubby in underpass, and a pop flash is thrown by Innocent, and it lands and he peeks with it. But it was mistimed slightly, and they found Maniz before that pop flash went out. So a little bit of a gamble there. There was 2 players inside of underpass. If it works out, Maniz looks like a god and gets 2. Doesn't. They're down a player. That being said, they were able to take down Jacob thereafter, with Spiro hitting his AWP shot. So now 4-on-4, the T's have rotated back over towards B apartments. We'll see if Spiro now positioned with that AWP. Ooh, he's going to shift his angle, but he hits a shot nonetheless. Here we go as they try and take into B.
They do get one. Oh man, Michu though, still alive. Had they not suffered that nade, Michu would have had a harder scenario to deal with, but he does go down, so 2-on-2. Now getting the bomb down. The rotate is going to be pretty quickly here. The flank from Innocent. If they don't get this bomb down before Innocent arrives, that's pretty much the round. However, they do spot him out. Now it's the CT inside of Kitchen's turn to peek. But he instead opts to just allow his teammate to go down. Still not planting the bomb just yet. Now Pauly going to go for it. Mouse has to take this 1 versus 1 while the bomb's going down. Spots the player on catwalk. Has intel on where both of these players are. Pauly's going to post up with the AWP and takes the shot. Nice win by LGB there. Good recovery. This was a 2 versus 3 there. A little misplay by Gamers2 in a couple of those. I think it was a 3-on-2 in the end there, and decided to make it a whole lot of 1 versus 1s and even a 1 versus 2 with Innocent on the flank. But Gamers2 still with a lot of money here, and it's going to be difficult for LGB to break this economy.
Yeah, exactly. But that is obviously what they're attempting to do, and critical that they pick up this round as they send 2 into top middle immediately. Pauly will win that op duel as Spiro will go down. Innocent going to try his luck as he's looking to repeat potentially. Now he's got to drop an 8 out instead. Sentries creeps up a ramp and takes down Mausenho. So all of a sudden, 2 entry frags go into the T side, and Jacob actually posted up inside of jungle. He's made it all the way through connector. He spots out Innocent. Takes him a little while to get him down, but gets the job done in the end. Maniz onto Sentries, so they do even it back up slightly, but obviously still a big advantage here in a 2-on-4.
Yeah, LGB would love this second round in a row. Maniz not giving it to him, right? Maniz just an easy frag for Maniz. Jacob takes to the skies, and now given the advantage to Gamers2 and finish it off. The M&M squad, Maniz and Michu, just coming up massive, 6-1.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah, LGB, I honestly thought that they would secure that round. I think it was a bit of a misplay, especially Jacob kind of taking a 1v1 where he's jump peeking over a box in a site. It felt like they had some really good entries, got a little overconfident, took some 1v1s, and the M&M squad, like you were saying, they come up big with their frags coming back.
Yeah, it looked, I don't know what Jacob was hoping for there. I know the jumping accuracy is pretty good in this game, but not that good. All right, to take a fight versus Maniz like that. Unfortunate for LGB. Now on their map choice, it looked like they were going to start to establish their T-half. And now that they've won a round and then lost one, the second loss couldn't come at a worse time. And now, how do they come back? They got Sentries with a whole lot of dough. Drop some Tech 9s, go for one of these A-bust once more, perhaps. The B has been on lockdown by Michu. It's just a tough decisions for LGB here.
Yeah, certainly. And Zavi is actually, if he didn't have that 1 assist, he would be straight up 007 James Bond right now, as he is yet to find a frag currently. Rubino, similar situation with only 1 frag in his favor, so gonna need some of the players on LGB's end to step up. Obviously, we can see the 3 at the top have 4 apiece, which is obviously a little bit better. But again, that last round, I think that was their best chance at breaking the economy of Gamers2 and basically finding their way back into the map. But I'm just still very confused at the way that round ended up developing once it was a 2-on-4.
Yeah, those are hard to come back from, too. Just, who did we see that from yesterday? I don't know if any of you guys are night owls in the European side. I think it was Paul Newman for Mortality that we saw drop an insanely winnable round. And just those type of situations where you know you should have won. That's your ticket back into the half. You're like, all right, guys, we got this. And then everything just falls apart. And then you're left in a situation where it gets increasingly difficult to come back from.
Yeah, certainly. And a lot of the time, it's not necessarily the strat was bad. It was just the situation that you were put in the later round situation. You probably should have played it a little better, but something gave you the inclination to play it a different way, and it just didn't work out. Again, specifically with the Paul Newman play, he peeks when there's like 2 seconds left, no way for him to plant the bomb, and tries to find a frag. And again, at that point in time, if he recognized the timer, which he should have, but if he didn't, that was the right play to try and refrag when his teammate dies. That's what I'm seeing there. But obviously, it wasn't the right play because there was only 2 seconds left on the clock. So, yeah, not a fun situation for him, and not a fun situation the round that we just saw LGB go through. Again, obviously credit to Michu and Miniz for making it work, but LGB, if you're up in that opportunity, you really got to secure it.
It's such a fine line to tread in Counter-Strike. When you're up like that, say 5 versus 2, 4 versus 2, it's so easy to peek in that situation because you're like, okay, even if I go down, I got like 3-4 teammates behind me. I have a good chance of winning this duel. But by going for that, when you could just easily set up a trade, that's when things kind of fall apart because suddenly you're down 3 versus, you lose a player 3-on-2, somebody else loses a duel, suddenly you're down to 2 1 versus 1s, and yeah, just fell apart there.
So it does look like one of our admins saying that, yeah, they're looking for a stand-in right now as Rubino is completely out of the picture.
All you LGB or bettors are hoping that Rain's going to come in.
Right, bringing a hot gun here. We'll see what happens as, again, we are just waiting for stand-in. So it does look like they're still currently looking. So, guys, we're going to take a short break as LGB try and figure out what's going to happen for them. Again, Rubino out of the picture here. They will need to find a stand-in. So, guys, don't go too far. We'll be back, hopefully, with the continuation of this map in just a few minutes. All right, guys, we are back. As you can see, we've got a stand-in here for the LGB side. Mistred is his name in the game, but it is Mystic, if you guys are familiar with the player. So, again, we'll see how that takes effect. Again, Rubino having some technical difficulties, so Mystic will be replacing him. So LGB coming in on the save here. They are going to attempt to take middle control, but not working out so far as Spear takes down one. Actually, they do take down Innocent inside of window. Obviously, the downside to dropping that player specifically is that that gun is not reachable. But nonetheless, Innocent, only one going down. 7-1 the scoreline here. And yeah, honestly, I'm trying to think back of when Mystic did play with them a little bit. Struggling to remember how well it went, to be honest with you. But at least from my terrible memory, I think he was a pretty solid fragger and should be a good addition here. I don't necessarily think he's going to be the same fragger as Rubino, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, at least there's some history there. And I know it was him and PRB replaced by Zeebs and Zentries, if I'm not mistaken. Not sure the reasoning behind it again, but we'll see what he has to offer here. Going for just a dry A take, and I like this switch up from LGB. They've constantly, whenever they've went to A, it's been a smoke and flash take. This time, just waltzing up the ramp, dry, no nades or smokes to be had from them. But still, Gamers2 are battling back 3-on-3 here. They get the bomb down safely, relatively safely, but Polly does fall right after he plants it. Retake underway, not bad post plants from LGB here. Jacob actually headers a nade, bounces right off of his dome, gets out of firebox safely. And Jacob gets one. So, Mystic again. This could be a big round for LGB. Now the stand-in. Mystic has to come up big. The bomb is not planted for him. Meniz has at least one chance to tap it and hop off. He does it, and he hops right back on the bomb after getting the kill. Good recovery by Gamers2. Almost by LGB.
Almost indeed. And that's got to be pretty painful for them. Again, any of these rounds.
There's been a lot of almost.
Yeah. All these rounds that have come so close like that, it is kind of their ticket back into the match, or at least the map here, but it doesn't work out for them. But again, to highlight again, you were stating the dry take into A. I think that was a great play as well, and you could see how it kind of caught the Gamers2 players off guard there. So good stuff. In the end, though, it did come down to that 1v1, and Meniz playing it pretty darn well. As realizing it's not planted for ramp and that player is ramp, there's a lot of kind of mind games that you could play, and he did it pretty darn well there. So LGB still on their single round, and towards the B side of things to start things off. Looking to go into underpass a little bit, but Meniz takes down Mystic before any execution happens at all, and that's just so frustrating for the T side, as now Meniz gets out of there safely. Yeah, he's dealt a good amount of damage, but can play headshot angle or something to that effect, and they are at the advantage. That being said, Jacob, he found the entry in that dry take in the last round, and he will find Innocent as he moves up connector in this one.
Yeah, Innocent trying to play with the smoke this time, doesn't have his AWP to, or Spiro's not there this time playing that angle. Gets caught inside of the smoke, but the boost up mid might be able to get something done. They do lose the tail end of the take. Good shot by Zentries on Dimitriu, but traded off at the A ramp by Spiro. So 2-on-3, still yet to give away his position is Jacob's entry with another one, and now they can fall off with the bomb and try to book it back to the B bomb site. Spiro misses a crucial op shot on to Jacob as he was getting into the B bomb site. And now with this op, you know, he'd love to have a rifle in the scenario.
And he will drop one, or drop rather the op to find a rifle, but Jacob,
I wonder if Jacob was looking for that.
Yeah, that was nice play there for Jacob, just to, I don't know, hang out inside a market, and then, of course, when he's switching that weaponry, catching him off guard. So LGB come up with their second round here, and I believe it was, oh man, Sentries inside of connector when we had Spiro peek out, as well as, oh geez, I'm trying to forget, it was Mausenho because he's playing over near A. He was not near CT spawn as Spiro was. Spiro was right at like ticket booth opping. It was Sentries focusing on the op at CT spawn. As soon as Mausenho peeks from center of sight, though, the flick that Sentries hit on that headshot was unreal. It was
dirty.
It was a beautiful thing to watch. So good work from him. And again, LGB, they pick up that round, but obviously, actually, to note, it's been very expensive here for the CT side. They've got no money behind this buy.
They need this round. This would put them right back into the match. Michu gets one. The trade is attempted by LGB. He's locked down in mid here, going to try to smoke himself out of there.
Nice.
And he's going to nade it, and then he's not even moving. I like this play by Michu. And now finally making his way out of there. So he gets out of there safely. Down to 12 HP. He's going to re-peek. Oh, this man, he's so hungry. And he gets another one. He's going to keep peeking. Don't do this at home.
Oh,
and he gets another one. That's 3. And in those last 2, unnecessary, but hey, it worked.
Yeah, exactly. Sentries finally takes him down. Overkill as he taps his head off. And Sentries will continue. He's got a peek connector with a nade out. And that will be Mausenho's ticket to close out the round. So very critical round for either side. Gamers2 to continue their lead and kind of lock down LGB. LGB, they're way back into the match, as now they're once again with very little money on their side. Do you think Force is a good idea here, or are you liking that they're saving?
I mean, they're just going to have to hope their CT side is nuts. They just have to attempt to put a couple more on the board. I don't like going for a Force here simply because they haven't had a lot of success on their Force buys thus far. I mean, if they lose this next gun round, yeah, Force out the rest of the half. But they're just going to have to bank on an absolutely phenomenal CT side. Now rushing in towards B. M&M squad once again coming up massive. Only one frag for LGB. And yeah, this is not looking good. This is why we see such crazy scores and teams that, you know, it shouldn't be this there should be this large of a disparity in the score count. And it's just the way that the economy works in the game. And that's also why we see upsets. Just certain rounds decide the rest. And that's why we're seeing a 10-2 scoreline.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to highlight how Meniz held there. I imagine it was on purpose, but he sprays pretty much all of his clip, but he leaves himself with at least, he had 6 bullets there. I'm sure it was around that mark that he was looking for, just for when he does become unflashed. He's got a second opportunity and doesn't quickly have to switch to that pistol right from the get-go, so he's got a little bit more ammunition. Obviously a very small thing to note, but I like it, as he doesn't just empty his entire clip and hope that he just makes it work and then only has that USP. So
you just brought me back
see...
like not 12 years, like 9 years from the first time I saw somebody do that was Method back in 1.6. Yeah, I just had to say that.
No, it's a very cool thing to witness, and again, just highlights the high level play here. As we will see Pauly taking down Miles at home. We are going to be in a 2-on-3 here. They've got their side of the site under control. Scratch that as Pauly goes down. Sentry's now alone inside of Sandwich, finds the first, but Michu trades, and that'll be the 11th round coming in for G2.
11. Man, LGB can't catch a break here. They won 2 gun rounds, but they couldn't follow up. And now they're left with what? 2K and 2 rounds left. I guess they saved for last. This time can't buy too much if they want their next gun round to be worth more. What a smashing. Gamers2, I expected them to win. Not like this, though. This is just brutal. And on top of LGB having a stand-in, even though former teammates, still not a good look from them. So 2 rounds left. See if they can do anything on this eco round. There's only 1 player inside of the A-bomb site. He does have help from Jungle now. And Mouse. Ooh, could have got caught there by Zentry. He's actually pulled a nade. And it looks like it is going to be a massacre inside of the A-bomb site. Going to go for the sneak play in towards B. But Maniz, he's not even peeking. And he's posted up in the site. No chance here.
Yeah, as soon as he hears that bomb about to be planted, he knows exactly what's going on. Zaviz falls as well, and one thing to note, and I hate to point this out, the stand-in on LGB has outfragged Zaviz now for how long he's been in here. He's at 2-2-7, whereas
Solid
we got
replacement.
Zaviz.
Gotta feel good for Mystic.
that's a little unfortunate here for the LGB side, as again you've got Jacob with 11 frags. He has had some pretty critical entries, but it's those kind of later round situations where they haven't been able to hold on and post plant. And in the rounds where we have seen a plant go down, honestly, it hasn't been that many rounds where they have had that plant, but there has been some critical ones where they weren't able to hold that could have swung and the momentum in their favor. But last round of the first half here, Sentry is going to get taken down to 9 hit points early. So not a good start for them, but they do have middle control, so we'll see what they do with it.
All right, V is doubling his score count here.
Woot woot.
Now, G2 at the disadvantage for the time being, but even though they might lose this round, just almost inconsequential with how far they are ahead here. But all rounds matter, so hopefully for LGB they could bring this one out. I mean, if LGB is going to have a comeback here, Jacob is going to have to go massive on the CT side, and the rest of the squad is really going to have to step it up to his level. And it's really the only way I see them coming back in their CT side. And of course, that all starts with pistol round. Similar situation to the last map. LGB can't take it, or the round thereafter, they are done. And G2 is going to be moving on to face Dignitas. And again, if you're just joining us, either team that wins this, in all likelihood being G2, gonna secure a spot in our international finals, which is super exciting to see G2 coming over to face the international competition.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that championship should be later in the year, as again, obviously, top 5 from either region going to be invited to represent their team at that international tournament. So again, guys, it is going to be 13-2. Gamers2 with a very dominant CT side performance, but I do want to take this moment to talk about NR Max. Got some cool gear from NR Max. I'm actually wearing one of their cool jerseys right now. It's very, very nice. But anyhow,
right? I didn't expect to get that. It was sick.
Right? It's beautiful. It's actually really, really comfortable, especially for how hot it is. It breathes really well. Nonetheless,
that material?
NR Max, they do have a bundle they're giving away on Twitter right now. So all you need to do to get in on that, and it's a PC case, you get a ton of cool stuff there. The liquid cooler. Definitely get in on that, as it's the biggest hardware bundle we've given away, period. So again, to get in on that, follow NRMax Global, as well as GoRGN TV on Twitter, and retweet the specific tweet that has that big hardware bundle inside of it. But we're live in the second pistol round of this map number 2, LGB. We gotta see it here and now. You gotta come up big for us.
Oh, they guessed wrong again. This is getting painful to watch. LGB just shoot themselves in the foot before they even get a chance to engage on the pistol round. And now everybody's rotating out of the B-bomb site. They can't get to mid quickly, though. Gamers2 may just overwhelm. Now they got the Triangle of Doom on the middle. They got to get these kills. Still yet without one. Both teams now trading off back and forth, but this is going to favor Gamers2 as Michu on both pistol rounds has come up so huge.
2 frags already. He's looking for his third as he spots Polly out inside of the connector. That being said, they know the bomb is stuck in ladder room as Polly just received that information. But Innocent and Spiro coming up from connector. Again, Polly was last spotted near, and he's going to peek out once again. Does a little bit of damage here to Innocent. So they are being tagged up a little bit, but... Ooh, Mystic looking towards ladder room, and that nade. If he was 2 steps forward, that would have been ruthless. But Michu, just off its mark, gives away that he's still there. So the CT's not completely out of this, especially with 30 seconds left, but the cat push underway.
Oh, this is so bad for LGB. Once again, they rotate out of position. Jacob, he needs it so desperately, but he runs out of bullets, and Michu's going to get the kill. Now Polly, both members very low on the Gamers2 side. Doesn't necessarily have to hit the heads. And now coming up the catwalk, Michu inside the bomb site. Spiro likely going to be the first to peek from the bench, and then Michu going to follow.
Spiro.
Don't even need to follow up. Nice shot by Spiro. And 14-2, another pistol round claimed by Gamers2, and I think that's all 3 or all 4 now.
Yeah, that's very, very bleak. Not fun for the LGB side as that last shot as well. Nice stuff from Spirit to hit a headshot that range with the Glock. I think that was only 2 bullets in, so very nice work from him. And we're going to see, surprising that we actually see these MAC-10s on the field, as you've got to think that it'll be a force buy with armor. But nonetheless, they still might be able to make it work. Minis and Maus and Ho with those weaponry. We've got Galil and AKs on the other 3, and already sentries on the bench. They're going to take middle control fairly quickly. Innocent poking and prodding towards B here, and if he spots that it's an open site, that should be their cue to gather in middle, so they might have to come up catwalk, but Polly goes down in connector. It's going to make way for them to, if they want to, push into the B-bomb site, but looking like they still just want to frag out here. They do have a flank to deal with. Only Zaviz left in window, and he does find one, but his time is limited.
That was unfortunate for LGB. Jacob was on the flank, but all of his teammates had already died there, and then he just whiffed entirely with the CZ. So, in all likelihood, what is the last round? We have seen LGB do some things with their deagles, so maybe, just maybe we'll see it again. I'm trying to get some hope.
It's usually me building them up. You're supposed to say this is over. This is just over.
It is over. I was too rude the last time. But okay, here we go for the B rush. Zaviz here, not with the deagle. I'm gonna have to get it done with the 5-7. It's just so unfortunate for LGB. Constantly, they stack the wrong bomb sites. They push the wrong spots, but Zaviz is coming up big. This is a 3-on-3. The retake is already underway. They're coming in with a massive flank. They're not even waiting for their last player to come on through. Now it's Mystic and Jacob. Mystic does get one, and now Jacob failed the last round on the flank. One last chance.
He's gonna flash over towards, actually towards catwalk. He hits one shot onto Innocent. He'd hit a little bit more, though, if he wants to continue. Innocent takes a lot of damage, but finds the headshot. 16-2. First map was 16-4. Wow. Bit of a brutalizing best of 3 there as G2 just dominate their way through 2 maps and find themselves in a final now versus Dignitas, and that's going to be a hell of a winner's bracket final.